The all-new 2019 Ascent is Subaru's largest crossover ever. Sure, it seats up to 8 and features modern technology, but how good is it off-road? In this video, we're going to test X Mode, Subaru's off-road control system. So the Subaru Ascent is essentially designed for even the occasional off-road adventure. But how much off-roading can you actually do in an Ascent? I mean, are we just talking like gravel roads to trailheads? Or are we talking about really rugged off-road conditions? Well, now we are here in a gravel pit to see just how capable this car is. So we're not going to be climbing over logs, but we are going to test the all-wheel drive system and the hill descent system. And that is as easy as hitting this button right here, X Mode. That leads to the next logical question: what does X Mode actually do? Well, it remaps the all-wheel drive system and also remaps the ABS to give better control in slippery off-road conditions. Instead of having to flip a switch telling it what kind of condition it's in, X Mode just sorts it out all by itself. I've used X Mode in other vehicles from Subaru, and I always find it to be really impressive, actually. No, it won't replace a low-range gear set, and you're still not going to be able to have the capabilities of something that is really a dedicated off-road rig. But for what is probably the worst case scenario for a Subaru owner, X Mode should do just fine. Subaru says that the Ascent has approach and departure angles that keep this kind of off-roading in mind. So hopefully we don't rip off any body panels, because that would be embarrassing. This is Ian, everybody. Say hi to Ian. Hi, Ian. No high centering. I will use 8.6½ inches of ground clearance, but I won't use the 8.7. So the big thing with off-roading is slow, steady, maintain momentum. You hear the all-wheel drive system doing its work down there. Going up a sandy bank, really test that all-wheel drive system out. Now, the neat thing about the Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive is that it will push power to the wheels that have traction. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, rocket. So let's look at this again. Approach is smooth and slow. This is because X Mode has remapped the CVT to emulate a low-range gear set. Throttle has also been modified to be more gradual versus the standard drive mode. Approach and departure angles allow the Ascent to clear obstacles without scraping bumpers or exhausts. You can also see here the wheel that starts to spin free. It's locked, and power is sent to the opposite wheel that has traction. The all-wheel drive system in the Ascent is transferring power front to back using an electronically managed transfer clutch, and it also shifts power side to side through active torque distribution. With X Mode on, slip is reduced by engaging ABS much sooner to lock individual wheels that are otherwise spinning, and power is then focused on the wheels that have grip. Now, there are some limitations to this system compared to hardcore off-roading systems. But for normal drivers, X Mode does a great job of making even rough surfaces easy to conquer.
Do I get a Twinkie?
And then up we go. So you can see that if you ever need to drive up a rock quarry, clearly the Subaru Ascent is up to the task. Now let's move on to one final feature of X Mode, hill descent control.
So they say that the speed will be modified based on my approach. So I'm going to approach at 2 miles per hour and see if it maintains that as I go down. So I have a 2 mile per hour approach. I stop. So I make sure I have X Mode on, I have hill descent on, foot off the gas, foot off the brake, and we're gonna let the Subaru do the work for me. This is pretty steep, but it's doing an excellent job. smooth as she goes. And when once to get to the bottom, we just put a little gas on and roll out of it.
Join us right here for our full review of the new 2019 Subaru Ascent as we check out every feature en route to the Oregon coast. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.